educational sector plays a vital role in shaping the future of any nation. However, the current state of education in many countries is plagued by disparities between the work mode, expectations, and rewards. Teachers are often overworked and underpaid.
Good morning. My name is Ibirunke Olurotimi. I am an education consultant and I currently work as Regional Director, Leadership and Development at New Globe, Nigeria. I believe that teachers are the bedrock of educational transformation and their roles are very critical when it comes to national development. Part of what this summit will achieve is to highlight the critical roles that they play in national development, like I mentioned. It will also highlight some of the teacher-led solutions that are being implemented in different classrooms across the nation. It will also provide a platform where education stakeholders, policymakers, and even the educators themselves can have, dialogue and enriching conversations that will bring about a lot of progress for the system in general.
Leading to low morale and high turnover rates. Furthermore, the curriculum and teaching methods are often outdated, failing to equip students with the skills required for the modern workforce. To address these issues, the government must intervene to bridge the gap between the work mode.
When I think about the setbacks that educators have to face or educators currently face in Nigeria, there are four critical challenges that come to mind. And topping that list will be inadequate funding and investment in education, followed by limited resource and infrastructure, of course, which is an offshoot or which is borne by inadequate funding. Thirdly, will be inadequate professional development. And then finally, will be unclear career progression pathways for a lot of educators. And when I think about what can be done, to work around these four challenges, of course, it needs no saying that the first one, we need to increase investment in education, both by the government and also in the in the private spaces. Secondly, for inadequate infrastructure, of course, if funding and investment is increased, there will be more infrastructure, and of course, there will also be a lot more resource for educators to work with and to provide excellent teaching and learning, and in turn provide transformative education for all our children. Thirdly, inadequate professional development. I would say that there needs to be robust professional development opportunities for teachers. I know that there are quite a number of states in Nigeria who have taken the bull by the horn and they're putting their money where their mouth is by providing these sort of opportunities through public-private partnerships. I believe that there is still a lot of ground to be covered in that area. I also believe that professional development needs to be data-driven, meaning that they need to be developed based off of the needs of the educators, such that it is actually fit for purpose and is able to solve the issues that educators are having in their classrooms and in their lives in general as educators. And then finally, for unclear pathways, I think that the pathways for career progression for teachers needs to be improved, particularly in the private sector. I noticed that this is very common. Teachers do the same thing for several years. They are really stuck, just moving from school to school, doing the same thing. No clear career progression. In the public sector, it's really clear cuts because you get a new certification, you can move from one level to the other, your remuneration can improve, and over the years you can become, you can move up the ranks. It's not the same for most private institutions. So I believe that a lot of work can be done in that area. One other setback that I failed to mention is welfare packages and social recognition for teachers. Until very recently, when we've had some states reward outstanding teachers, we have, even recently, one of the teachers in Ogun State was nominated for the Global Teacher Prize. So I believe that these kinds of things can help, improve how teachers see themselves as teachers, first of all, and also help motivate them to do more in the area of providing great teaching and learning in the institutions where they are serving.
To achieve this, the government can implement policies that make teaching a more attractive and rewarding career path, both in the private and public sectors. This can be done by offering competitive salaries, benefits, and opportunities for professional growth and development. Additionally, the government can invest in modernizing the curriculum and teaching methods, incorporating technology and skills training to prepare students for the demands of the 21st century workforce. By doing so, the government can revitalize the educational sector.
So my advice for teachers would be first to own your learning. As a teacher, I believe that a lot of the setback or challenges that they face in their classrooms can be resolved by them just, taking the bull by the horn and saying, you know what, I want to be a better educator. What am I learning about my pupils? What am I learning about those I'm serving? How can I become better? There are lots of resources out there that can help teachers improve their skills and their competencies and really be very masterful at their teaching work. So I believe that first of all, teachers need to take ownership of their learning. Teachers need to be more invested in their students. And when I mean more invested, I'm not even saying that teachers do a whole lot. There's a whole lot of things that teachers do, but when I mean being more invested, like really taking each individual learner and understanding their needs and tailoring our strategies in the classroom to be able to meet the needs of those learners, ensuring that no learner in our classrooms is left behind, really carrying everyone along. I also believe that teachers should also leverage technology because in this age of technology and social media, there is a lot, is literally like a gold mine that teachers can take advantage of. Document what you are learning in your classroom, document the innovative strategies that you're stumbling upon that is giving you excellent output in your class, that is providing transformative outcomes for your children. Like, document it, share it with the world. Whatever it is you are learning, there are several people in the other parts of the world who are willing to learn the same thing and also implement it in their own context and their settings. And also, I also believe that teachers should advocate more for their professional development. Sometimes your employer is not going to tell you, oh, you need this particular training, or you have skill gaps in this particular area. When teachers take the time to really assess where they are in their journeys, they can make advocacy for professional development that is needed, at least make the advocacy, on your behalf so that you can get the opportunities that will help move you forward. And then they take advantage of professional platforms where you share ideas with other teachers. You can learn what is happening. And, in this age of technology, there is no barrier. You can be interacting with people in India, in other parts of Africa, in Europe, in the United Kingdom. You're learning about, things that are happening in those parts of the world and how they are moving education forward in their spaces. You can learn a thing or two and implement it right in your own setting and still get the same results. So really being open-minded and taking your learning and networking, a notch higher would be my advice to teachers. To parents and guardians, I would say we need to be more interested in our teachers' responsibilities towards the children, and also help provide that collaborative system where it's more like the school and the home are working together in the interest of the children. So you don't just abdicate the responsibilities of ensuring that the children learn and they learn adequately to the teachers, because really one hand can there's this popular saying, or it's a proverb that says one hand cannot carry a load and put it on the head. We need two hands. So we need the teachers and the guardians and parents to work together to be able to help the children reach the kind of outcomes that we hope to see. And for the students, I would say be curious. be open to learning, and you must take your own learning into your own hands. While the school will, your teachers are interested and invested, your parents are interested and invested, you also must show that you're invested in your education by being proactive, by studying, by going the extra mile to know what is being taught, even beyond what is being taught. We see a lot of young people doing amazing things, those in secondary schools, acing their high stakes exams. It takes a lot of effort. It takes being really proactive, hungry, and taking your learning into your own hands. So I believe that with this, students will be able to do a lot more in terms of getting academic excellence.
Making it a more appealing and fulfilling career path for educators, while also producing skilled and employable graduates who can drive economic growth and development.
When I think about the role that governments and education stakeholders can play in ensuring better education systems, I will start by saying, of course, this one is a no-brainer. We need more money in education. So we need to improve the allocation that goes into education. Secondly, I would say the government needs to invest in education technology. Technology can do a lot, in helping to revamp our education systems. Like it can help with things that ordinarily we would struggle with, like teacher attendance, like lesson completions, ensuring that lessons are being taught and completed in the classrooms. I believe that investment in education technology will help achieve that. Also, creating inclusive and supportive policy frameworks that includes the teacher in this policy formulation, so that the voice of teachers can be heard even through those policies. You can know that they have the teacher in mind while these policies are being formulated. I would also add fostering public-private partnerships. I believe that there is a lot that the private sector, there is a lot of value that the private sector can add, to education in Nigeria. The government has the skill, the government has the muscle, and the private sector has the expertise and the manpower that can help deliver this transformation. So I imagine the magic that can happen when private sector organizations partner with, government to provide quality education. There is a lot that can be achieved. I believe that, there are, like I said earlier, there are quite a number of states in Nigeria that I believe are doing really well in this area. But there is still a lot of grounds to cover. If we look at the staggering statistics about education in Nigeria, learning poverty, teacher gaps, you know that there is still a lot of work for us to be done. But public-private partnerships, for sure, will deliver a lot of value in transforming education in Nigeria. My name is Ibironke Olurotimi. I'm an education consultant, and I currently work as the Regional Director, Leadership and Development at New Globe.